banks cited for serious regulatory breaches will be named publicly and, in addition, have monetary fines. Now, this is what Joy Business is picking up from the Bank of Ghana as part of measures to improve regulation of the sector. It is coming after recent central bank investigations, which established that some banks were seriously breaching market conduct rules, resulting in customers being charged without their notice. Now, our sources say the move should also help improve market compliance and protect depositors. Meanwhile, banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etienne says the regulators should go beyond naming and shaming.
It will help the banks to treat customer fairly, which has been absent over the years.
Doesn't this point to a certain lack of monitoring if banks were able to do this? I know right now the Bank of Ghana is reporting it. And my second question would be that we're hearing that the bank would name and shame these institutions. Is that enough?
Shaming is not just adequate. People should be sanctioned. Banks should be sanctioned for failing to do the compliance with the customer compliance.
As a customer, how should I react to this if I'm hearing of these breaches?
You know, the banks are supposed to have desk to address this compliance, but unfortunately, when you go there, I've had the same experience myself. Even somebody like me, they overcharge me when I go there. They will push here.
All right, so joining me to discuss this is banking consultant Nana Otuo-Champong to get some more perspective to this worrying report from the Bank of Ghana about serious regulatory breaches. Nana, I know that you have been reading through the report. What are your initial remarks on this?
I have to commend the Financial Stability Department, which was established recently, and they're doing a good job by monitoring market conduct. Now, in 2017, they issued Consumer Recourse Mechanism Guidelines. This is a guideline that fixing how customer complaints should be handled. Right. In other jurisdictions like in the UK, you have the Financial Ombudsman handling that, but this one is handled by Bank of Ghana, who is the regulator. And this guideline tells them certain things to do. One of them is how customers should be treated fairly. And in their report, they identified about 5 infractions where customers have not been treated fairly. One of them is the issue of early settlement of borrowing loans. When you take a loan from a bank or a financial institution and you decide to settle earlier than the maturity date. Previously, there have been penalties that banks have been levying at different rates, not totally uniform. Now, this has been brought into uniformity by being charged not more than 0.025% of the amount involved. So these are some of the issues that they found. So I think going forward, it's good that they are coming up with this. In the Financial Ombudsman in the UK, they even compiled a league table as to the banks that are receiving the highest number of complaints. And so if they can, going forward, they can come out and give us an idea of the banks that have had these complaints against them because of different infractions of the recourse mechanism, or for that matter, any directive that they are issuing, then we'll be on the right track.
And it's important we know the banks that have flouted this, very important. And one can't help but wonder how the banks were allowed to do this. I mean, I know that it's good we are commending the central bank for coming out to report this or flag this, but how did they let this go without anybody noticing until now?
Well, as I said, this directive was issued in 2017, and since then they have been doing very well by educating the banks for them to know. My consultancy has also been doing some of this education. So I think they've given them enough rope. And if they have intimated that going forward, they will name and shame them. It will be a matter of just giving a league table that of the 23 banks, 27 savings and loans, who had the highest number of complaints against them. And that will be a way to go. So I'm positive that sooner or later they will do that.
Right. I mean, you talk about naming and shaming. Some others are calling for much stricter sanctions against these banks that may have flouted. What do you think about that? I mean, in terms of sanctions.
What sort of sanctions? For instance, they say that in marketing and advertising, they want you to do what you promised to do in your marketing exercise. If you tell people that they will get a loan in 24 hours, then you should give them the loan in 24 hours. If they don't, what sanctions should be levied on the bank? All it will mean is that if this is brought out to the public, that bank A, when they say they will give you in 24 hours, they don't give it, then you and I will not go there anymore, or we won't believe what they are advertising. So if specifically they have done something against a specific directive, then they can be charged. But if you say that if you advertise, I'll give you a loan in 24 hours, and then they didn't disperse in 24 hours, why should we charge them for this? Instead, let the public know, and then the public will decide whether they still patronize that institution or they don't.
Well, speak of the public, and my final question to you tonight, how should the public react to this? I mean, this is coming at a time we are trying to build confidence in the banking sector. Then I hear this news. How should customers take this? This is
a good way of building confidence in the system, because they're bringing this out to let the banks know that they are there for the customers, and that if they treat the customer as king, and so if they treat the customer rightly, then they will get repeat business. And getting repeat business is worth more than any form of advertising that you can think of. So I think it's good that they are bringing this out to let the banks know that they have to work within the system and guidelines that the regulator will issue to ensure that customer is treated well.
All right. Thank you so much. Nana Otuo-Champong is a banking consultant sharing his perspective on the latest Bank of Ghana report about customer protection breaches.